Hello, I am Dr. Shemer Keydar, author of the Kabbalah of Quantum Physics. This AI-assisted discussion explores one of the central ideas of my book, whether information can provide a meaningful conceptual bridge between modern physics and Kabbalistic thoughts. I hope you enjoy it.
You look at a massive steel skyscraper, and it feels undeniably solid. But if you zoom in close enough, modern quantum physics tells us that classical picture just shatters. We don't find tiny, solid marbles at the bottom of it all. We increasingly find abstract probabilities.
Right. Yeah, it completely upends our intuition. It really forces us to rethink what reality is actually made of when all that tangible stuff falls away.
Exactly. And that brings us to the profound mission for today's deep dive. We are asking, can the concept of information act as a meaningful conceptual bridge between modern physics and Kabbalistic thought? To explore this, we're diving into a fascinating source, the book The Kabbalah of Quantum Physics, Bridging Ancient Wisdom and Modern Science from Isaac Luria to Erwin Schrödinger by Dr. Shemer Keydar. That's Shemer Keydar.
It's such a brilliant exploration.
Yeah.
But I do think we need to set some firm ground rules right up front.
Oh, absolutely. Like physics and Kabbalah use entirely different languages and methods, right?
Exactly. We aren't talking about quantum mysticism here, and we are definitely not claiming ancient texts literally predicted modern science. We are just exploring limited structural and philosophical correspondences. You know, how both frameworks use similar architectural concepts to build reality.
Right, just laying the groundwork. So let's unpack the physics side first. We evolved from viewing the universe as solid particles to continuous fields, and then physicist John Archibald Wheeler proposed a third age, the age of information.
Yes, his famous proposal, it from bit.
Which is wild to think about. Wait, does this mean we live in a literal computer simulation like the Matrix?
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's a fun sci-fi thought, but Wheeler's it from bit is a theoretical proposal. It is not an established scientific conclusion.
So we haven't found a tiny string of binary code inside an electron.
Right. He just meant that at the quantum level, where our normal language of solid matter completely fails, we have to describe reality using distinct states. We use probabilities and basically the asking of yes or no questions.
And what's crazy is that those abstract questions have real physical consequences. The book actually highlights the striking structural relationship between Claude Shannon's mathematical formula for information entropy and Ludwig Boltzmann's formula for thermodynamic entropy.
This is a really crucial link. Both of these systems mathematically measure how many possible states a system can be in.
But they aren't the exact same thing, right? Like not identical in every scientific sense.
Right, not identical.
Right.
Shannon was measuring the uncertainty of abstract symbols in a message, while Boltzmann was calculating the physical, energetic states of a system.
But they actually interact in the physical world. And this is thanks to physicist Rolf Landauer and Landauer's principle.
Yes, Landauer's principle is key here. It shows that if you erase logically irreversible information, there is a minimum thermodynamic cost.
So wait, deleting a spam email theoretically expels energy?
Yes, theoretically. Because by erasing that bit, you decrease the informational uncertainty of the system. That lost entropy has to be compensated for physically.
Wow. But just to be clear, this doesn't mean lost information literally becomes heat, right? Or has physical weight.
No, not at all. It does not prove that information is the actual physical substance of reality. But it does prove that information processing is bound by measurable physical consequences.
Okay, so reality requires these distinct, limited states to function. And what's fascinating is that centuries before thermodynamics, Kabbalistic traditions were exploring how the universe is constructed through discrete structural elements.
Right. For example, the ancient text Pirkei Avot describes creation through 10 divine utterances, and the Sefer Yetzirah maps it out using 22 Hebrew letters.
Which begs the question, are these 22 Hebrew letters basically an ancient base 22 digital code?
I have to strictly reject that equivalence. We cannot equate Hebrew letters with digital bits.
Right, because a digital bit is just a mathematical choice devoid of inherent meaning.
Exactly. Whereas a Hebrew letter in Kabbalah carries deep qualitative and spiritual significance. We should only view this as a limited structural analogy, showing how complex structures emerge from distinct units.
It's about the architecture. But that architecture hits a massive philosophical hurdle. Kabbalah says creation stems from an infinite, boundless, divine presence, the Ein Sof.
Right, the Ein Sof. So how do you get distinct units from something infinite?
Yeah, it's like needing the blank space of an unpainted canvas to actually read a sequence of letters. If the canvas is totally covered in ink, you can't see anything.
I love that visual. That blank space is essentially Tzimtzum.
Tzimtzum, which is the divine withdrawal.
Yes, the Kabbalistic concept of divine self-concealment or withdrawal to allow for differentiation. To allow finite structures to exist, the infinite has to pull back.
The limitation is the very thing that allows readable structure to emerge.
Precisely. Just remember that Tzimtzum is a conceptual framework of differentiation. It is not a physical law or a strict requirement of modern information theory.
Right, we're keeping the boundaries clear. But the conceptual bridge between the two fields is undeniable. Whether it's the discrete probabilistic states in quantum physics or the linguistic units and conceptual void of Tzimtzum, complex reality absolutely requires limitation and boundaries.
It really does. Both frameworks rely on those boundaries and distinct states to create structure out of nothingness.
It makes you wonder. If the bedrock of physical reality operates on the rules of information, and ancient wisdom used a structured linguistic lens to understand the universe, how does that change the way you value the everyday questions you ask about the world?
The book is available on Amazon.
My book, The Kabbalah of Quantum Physics, Bringing Ancient Wisdom and Modern Science from Isaac Luria to Erwin Schrödinger, is available on Amazon. Whether you come from science, philosophy, Kabbalah, or simple curiosity, I invite you to join me on this journey. Because the deepest mystery may not be what exists in the universe, the deepest mysteries may be how the universe becomes the reality we experience. I am Dr. Shemer Keydar. Thank you for listening.